The moment you sense a shift in the air, that is not coincidence. That is a call, a quiet whisper from the universe guiding you towards something greater. You are the chosen one. Life has always been more than a series of random events. It moves through alignment, timing, and intention. And right now, a powerful signal is reaching you. In this video, you will uncover truths few dare to speak aloud. You will learn how to recognize the subtle signs that reveal your purpose, how to create an inner sanctuary of clarity and strength, and how to awaken the dormant potential that lies within you. The lessons are drawn from ancient Shaolin wisdom, timeless mindfulness practices, and principles of personal mastery that have guided warriors and sages for centuries. By watching until the end, you will discover the inner patterns that determine whether you remain passive or step fully into your path. You will see how discipline becomes freedom, how stillness sharpens perception, and how shadow work illuminates hidden strengths. These insights are not common knowledge. They are the keys that prepare the chosen one for the shifts that are quietly unfolding. Every moment of your attention matters. Every choice shapes your readiness. What is about to unfold is not merely external, it is internal, a transformation that demands awareness, courage, and presence. By understanding these hidden currents, you step into alignment with forces that have been preparing you for a long time. Welcome to Shaolin Soulfire. Here, we explore the wisdom that strengthens the mind, hones the body, and awakens the spirit. Subscribe now, and stay with us as we guide you through the steps that lead the chosen one to clarity, mastery, and awakening. There is a place within you where no storm can reach. A space untouched by the noise of the world. This is your inner dome, your personal sanctuary, and it exists not in stone or wood, but in the quiet mastery of your own mind and body. The Shaolin monks have long known that true strength begins from within. The body may be trained to endure, but it is the mind, disciplined and focused, that holds the fortress unshakable. In this sanctuary, every thought is observed, every impulse measured. Distractions lose their power, and the chaos of life becomes a distant echo. The Shaolin teach that a warrior's greatest opponent is not the world outside, but the turbulence within. By cultivating stillness, by practicing mindful presence, you learn to move through life without being swept away by fear, anger, or doubt. Each breath becomes a pillar supporting the structure of your inner dome. Discipline is the key. Daily rituals, conscious movement, and attention to the body's rhythms are the bricks and mortar of this sanctuary. When the mind and body are aligned, you create a field of clarity that cannot be penetrated. Challenges come and go, but the core remains steady. This space is not about isolation. It is about preparation, about developing the capacity to respond rather than react. In your inner dome, you discover the power of observation without attachment. Emotions flow like water against stone. Thoughts pass like clouds across the sky. The Shaolin masters understood that mastery of the self is not a destination but a living practice. And within this practice, the inner dome rises, silent, steadfast, and profound, a place where the chosen one stands unshaken, ready for whatever life chooses to bring. Stillness is not emptiness, it is the deepest form of presence. In the quiet, the mind begins to hear what is usually drowned in the noise of everyday life. Meditation and mindfulness are the gateways to this clarity, allowing the currents of thought and emotion to settle. Like water finding its own level, the mind becomes transparent, revealing the contours of truth that are always there but rarely noticed. In silence, perception sharpens. A simple pause can reveal patterns that were invisible in motion. Opportunities and warnings alike arise subtly, whispered through intuition rather than shouted through circumstance. The Shaolin masters understood that the warrior's strength is not only in the body, but in the clarity of thought cultivated through stillness. Before any decisive action, the mind must be calm, the senses alert but undistracted. Preparation begins in quiet reflection, not in chaos. Discipline is woven into this practice. Sitting in meditation, observing the breath, or walking with mindful awareness, all are acts of training the mind to remain unshaken. Each moment of silence reinforces resilience, teaching that reaction is not mastery, but measured response is. Stillness becomes a mirror, showing both the world and oneself without distortion. Ancient wisdom teaches that the universe moves in cycles, and those who move in harmony with its rhythms find the greatest strength. The space created by stillness is not passive, it is active awareness. From this place, decisions are made with precision, actions flow with purpose, and the spirit becomes steady like a mountain at dawn. The power of stillness is the power to see clearly, to act wisely, and to navigate life with the quiet certainty of one who has mastered the inner landscape before confronting the outer world. To observe without judgment is to step back from the constant commentary of the mind. Thoughts arise, impulses surge, emotions flare, but the observer remains calm, silent, and attentive. This practice of detachment is not indifference, it is clarity. By watching without reacting, the mind learns to distinguish between what is essential and what is distraction, between instinct and impulse. Judgment acts like a veil over perception. When the mind labels, criticizes, or clings, intuition is dulled and the path forward becomes obscured. Ancient sages taught that wisdom flows to those who can witness the inner world without distortion. When a thought is seen plainly, without attachment or condemnation, insight emerges naturally. The subtle signals from within and from the universe become audible, guiding the chosen one with gentle certainty. Self-awareness, not self-criticism, is the foundation of true mastery. The Shaolin monks understood that the fiercest battles are often invisible, the struggle against bias, ego, and habitual reactivity. By cultivating a non-judgmental awareness, one begins to untangle these knots of the mind. Every observation becomes a lesson, every fleeting impulse a mirror reflecting deeper truths. Discipline is required, for the habit of judgment is deeply rooted. Yet with patience, the mind can shift from reaction to reflection, from turmoil to insight. This inner vigilance transforms ordinary moments into training for mastery. Life's challenges no longer provoke unnecessary conflict, for the observer sees the currents beneath the surface. Emotions and thoughts are met with calm, not resistance. Understanding replaces reflexive response. Through this practice, the chosen one creates a mind both sharp and serene, a mind capable of perceiving the unseen, navigating complexity, and moving with the quiet confidence of someone who has begun to know themselves fully. Observation without judgment is the gateway, and self-awareness is the door that leads to inner freedom. Discipline is often misunderstood as limitation, but in truth, it is the path to freedom. When the mind and body are trained, life ceases to control the individual. Instead, the individual moves with purpose and clarity. The Shaolin masters teach that mastery begins with routine, the simple, repeated actions that shape the body, focus the mind, and align energy with intention. Each disciplined act, no matter how small, builds a foundation for greater strength and awareness. Daily habits are the scaffolding of freedom, rising with intention, observing the breath, engaging the body with mindful movement. These practices are not chores, they are invitations to inhabit your full potential. The mind learns through the body. Posture, balance, and rhythm mirror mental clarity and focus. Shaolin wisdom emphasizes this truth. The body's control reflects the mind's control. A restless body cannot hold a calm mind, just as an undisciplined mind cannot sustain steady action. Through discipline, the inner currents of energy begin to flow harmoniously. Attention becomes precise, impulses are tempered, and the heart moves in sync with purpose. The restraint once thought burdensome now becomes liberation. Each chosen act of focus, each intentional routine, strengthens the ability to respond rather than react, to move with deliberation rather than haste. This is the paradox of mastery. Freedom is not the absence of rules, but the presence of self-command. By practicing discipline as a tool rather than a restriction, the chosen one cultivates a life where actions arise from clarity instead of chaos. Energy, intention, and will converge, and the path forward becomes clear. In this alignment, life no longer feels like a series of obstacles, but a canvas upon which inner mastery can be expressed fully, freely, and with unwavering purpose. Every step taken with awareness carries weight far beyond the immediate moment. Circumstances may press from all sides, yet it is the choices made in response that define the path. The chosen one learns that life's unfolding is not determined by external chaos, but by the clarity and intent behind each action. Ancient wisdom teaches that mastery begins where intention meets movement, where thought shapes reality through disciplined application. Intentionality transforms ordinary actions into expressions of purpose. Rising, breathing, speaking, moving, when done with awareness, each becomes a brushstroke on the canvas of the soul. The Shaolin masters practice this principle in every gesture, every form, every step across the training hall. The body and mind were never separate. Each movement was a reflection of inner alignment. Through this unity, life itself becomes a mirror of conscious choice. God's signal, or the quiet guidance of the universe, often arrives not as a loud proclamation but as subtle openings. These openings reveal themselves only to those attuned, those who move with purpose rather than reaction. Every conscious choice acts as a beacon, aligning the outer world with the inner. Hesitation, distraction, or aimless action obscure the signal. Clarity and deliberate movement illuminate it. By aligning action with purpose, the chosen one creates a life where challenges become teachers, opportunities become doors, and ordinary moments carry sacred significance. Each step taken with awareness strengthens the capacity to perceive the unseen currents guiding life. The discipline of intentional living fosters a clarity that allows guidance to emerge naturally, revealing paths that were always present but invisible to the untrained eye. In this way, mastery is not measured by control over circumstance, but by alignment between the inner intention and the outer action, a harmony that transforms existence into a purposeful journey. Within the quiet of the mind lies a part often ignored, the shadow. It holds fears unspoken, desires unacknowledged, and impulses denied. To turn away from it is to remain incomplete, to leave pieces of oneself untamed. True mastery begins not in avoidance, but in courageous engagement with what resides in the depths. The chosen one learns that the shadow is not an enemy, but a teacher, waiting to reveal hidden strengths and unseen truths. The Shaolin masters knew this well. A warrior cannot move with precision if the mind harbors unresolved turmoil. Just as a sword must be tempered in fire, the spirit must confront its own darkness to become resilient. Sitting quietly, observing the stirrings of fear or longing without shame, is the first step in integration. Each shadow faced with honesty diminishes its unconscious control, freeing energy once trapped in resistance. Unresolved impulses, if left unchecked, cloud judgment and weaken purpose. They create hesitation where decisiveness is required, and distraction where clarity is needed. Shadow work is the discipline of turning inward, facing discomfort with steady breath and unwavering attention. The process is subtle, often invisible, yet it shapes every action, every thought, every moment of readiness. Through this integration, the chosen one transforms inner resistance into fuel for growth. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to sit with it, to observe and learn. As the Shaolin practiced in silence and repetition, so too must the seeker approach the shadow not with aggression, but with patience, discipline, and compassion. In embracing what lies within, the mind steadies, the heart opens, and the spirit gains the clarity necessary to navigate life with balance and mastery. The shadow becomes a companion, not a chain, guiding the chosen one toward the fullness of their potential. Every space carries energy, and every interaction leaves its mark on the mind and body. The chosen one learns that awareness of energy is as vital as awareness of thought. Environments can uplift, stagnate, or drain, and the people we spend time with become mirrors reflecting our own inner state. Ancient sages observed that subtle currents of energy shape perception, focus, and readiness far more than visible circumstances. This is the practice of energetic hygiene. Just as one cleanses the body, so must the mind and spirit be tended carefully, choosing where to spend time and with whom. becomes an act of preservation and empowerment. Energetic alignment is not passive. It requires discernment, patience, and discipline. Low-frequency influences may stir anxiety, confusion, or distraction, while high-frequency environments foster clarity, calm, and alertness. Awareness allows the chosen one to step into spaces that support growth rather than depletion. The Shaolin understood that the warrior's strength extends beyond physical skill. Mind, body, and environment must move in harmony. Training the senses to detect subtle energies, observing how interactions affect inner equilibrium, and adjusting accordingly cultivates resilience. Even brief moments of exposure to negative or chaotic energy can ripple through thought and emotion if awareness is absent. Alignment with high-frequency energy accelerates readiness for life's shifts. The universe signals through circumstances, encounters, and subtle intuitions, yet these messages are often muted in the presence of discord. By maintaining energetic hygiene, the chosen one creates a fertile inner field, allowing insight to rise effortlessly. The body feels lighter, the mind sharper, and the spirit steadier. In this discipline, the external and internal align, the currents of life become intelligible, and the chosen one stands prepared, not merely to react to events, but to navigate them with clarity, balance, and conscious purpose. There is a rhythm to life that cannot be rushed. The chosen one learns that true mastery lies not in forcing outcomes, but in preparing the mind, body, and spirit for what is already unfolding. Immediate results are fleeting. Preparation endures. Patience is the vessel through which readiness grows, and readiness is what allows opportunity to be met with clarity and strength. Faith in timing requires trust in forces larger than the self. Events arrive when the inner landscape is capable of receiving them, not when desire or impatience demands. The Shaolin masters understood this well. A warrior may train for years, moving through repetition, struggle, and discipline. Yet, the decisive moment comes only when readiness and circumstance converge. The journey, the quiet hours of practice, the unseen acts of self-mastery is what shapes the warrior far more than the outcome itself. To trust divine timing is to release the grip of control and embrace rhythm. It is to cultivate patience without passivity, knowing that preparation is active, even when results seem absent. Each disciplined habit, each moment of mindfulness, each step toward alignment adds strength to the unseen foundation upon which destiny rests. Impatience clouds perception, invites error, and dissipates energy. Faith allows stillness, and stillness reveals the precise moment to act. The chosen one learns that the external world will reflect this inner timing. Doors will open when the mind is steady, the heart calm, and the spirit attuned. Every challenge becomes a lesson, every delay a teacher. In this understanding, time is no longer the enemy, and waiting is no longer wasted. The journey shapes the chosen one, forging resilience, clarity, and wisdom. When the signal comes, action flows effortlessly, precise and aligned, because preparation has transformed waiting into power and trust into mastery. Wisdom that remains in thought alone is like water held in a closed vessel. It nourishes nothing. The chosen one discovers that true mastery is born in the integration of knowledge into life, in the seamless blending of understanding with action. Ancient traditions, from the Shaolin halls to the silent hermitages of the sages, teach that insight without practice is incomplete. The body, mind, and spirit must each reflect the truths one has learned, or the lessons remain abstract and distant. Integration begins with daily living. Every choice, every movement, every word becomes a reflection of principle. Discipline is not reserved for ritual alone. It permeates the ordinary, walking with awareness, breathing with intention, acting with integrity. These are the methods by which knowledge anchors itself in reality. The chosen one sees that spiritual growth is cumulative, built in small, consistent steps, each moment an opportunity to align thought and action. Preparation, therefore, is not only internal but external. The mind must be clear, but so too must the body be trained and the heart steady. Each aspect of being must harmonize with the others. The Shaolin understood this as the unity of form and spirit. A strike delivered without alignment is wasted energy, just as understanding without embodiment achieves little. Alignment across thought, action, body, and heart creates a living field of readiness, a state in which insight naturally manifests as effective, purposeful action. Through this integration, the chosen one transcends theory and becomes the principle itself. Life ceases to be a series of disconnected events and becomes a reflection of inner mastery. Wisdom flows through the body, directs the mind, and steadies the heart. The external world and the internal self move in harmony, and the chosen one steps forward, fully prepared, fully aligned, and capable of receiving the unfolding guidance that life now offers. The present moment is the only place where true power resides. All preparation, all mastery converges here and now. The chosen one learns that life does not wait for perfect conditions or ideal timing. The universe speaks in the rhythm of the present, and only those fully aware can hear its guidance. To step into this moment is to awaken, to see clearly, breathe deeply, and act with intentionality. Preparation is not passive. It is an active engagement with reality, a discipline of attention and alignment. Each breath, each thought, each movement becomes part of a deliberate practice that strengthens mind, body, and spirit. The Shaolin masters moved with calm readiness, knowing that every stance, every form, every exercise sharpened not only skill but awareness. The same principle applies to life. Disciplined practice in the ordinary moments creates readiness for the extraordinary. Alignment in the present moment is both inward and outward. The mind must be steady, free from distraction. The heart must be clear, free from attachment. The body must be attentive, ready to move with precision. These elements together form the foundation upon which insight, opportunity, and transformation can arise. Awareness is not a fleeting thought. It is a continuous state, a vigilant presence that notices what is often overlooked and responds with clarity rather than impulse. This awakening is already underway. The currents of life, subtle yet undeniable, are guiding the chosen one toward growth, understanding, and mastery. The path has been quietly preparing them through every lesson, every challenge, every act of discipline. Now the invitation is simple but profound. Embrace this moment fully. Step into awareness. Stand aligned. Act with intention. The tools have been forged, the body and mind honed, and the spirit attuned. All that remains is to accept readiness. The chosen one is prepared. The awakening is happening. It begins here, it begins now, and it begins with you. Life is full of subtle signals, guiding the chosen one toward growth and awakening. These shifts are not accidents. They are invitations to step deeper into awareness, discipline, and alignment with purpose. Mastery is born from stillness, from observing without judgment, from embracing the shadow within, and from acting with intention in every moment. By cultivating inner clarity, you create a sanctuary within yourself, a space where fear, doubt, and distraction cannot hold sway. Every act of discipline, every mindful choice, every moment of reflection brings you closer to the version of yourself ready to receive and respond to what the universe or God intends to reveal. This preparation is active, not passive. It transforms waiting into power and insight into action. Take these principles into your daily life. Observe your thoughts and impulses, practice stillness, align your actions with purpose, and honor your inner discipline. Let your energy and attention flow consciously, shaping your path with intention rather than reaction. The chosen one moves forward not by chance, but by the alignment of mind, body, and spirit. Remember, awakening is not distant, it is happening now. Each moment offers an opportunity to strengthen your inner foundation, to refine your clarity, and to step into readiness. Embrace this journey with calm, confidence, and courage. If this message resonates, join us on Shaolin Soulfire. Subscribe and continue exploring the wisdom, practices, and teachings that guide the chosen one toward mastery, purpose, and inner peace.